Hi guys, how are you? Sorry for my voice. I got a little bit sick over the weekend, so I'm not gonna sound that great, but hopefully you can hear this, and hopefully the messages that will come through will resonate for at least for some of you. This is going to be a Libra full moon reading, and it's the full moon that's going to happen on the 19th. And the reason that I'm doing this reading is because this specific full moon in Libra is a very special one, because the degree that it falls in, it's 29 degrees, I believe. And it's the culmination, it's the ending, it's like making something to the end, getting to the final step. So with full moons and adding the meaning of a full moon to this, it's things coming to life, things resurfacing. You finally understand certain things, you finally get certain things and understand areas that you've been holding yourself back, areas that you haven't been completely honest, and areas where there's been an imbalance. And also, this Libra full moon specifically is going to point out the areas of relationships, but for some of you might be a little less than others. In any case, no matter if it's for you, it's going to be a strong influence or not, I want to just give a reading and see what areas of your life are going to be, there's going to be a spotlight on. See what areas that you really need to focus on, what changes you need to adapt, or where is that you really need to put your focus in, or what has come to light, what truths you're going to learn during this full moon. And the way I'm going to do it, in this one video, I'm going to do all of the signs. So I am going to start with the fire signs, since we're in Aries season now. But I'm going to start with Leo, actually, because for some reason I had it wrote down Leo first. So I'm going to start with Leo. Okay, so let me shuffle a little bit more. And okay, so we'll do Leo, we'll do Aries, and then we'll do Sag. And I'm also going to pull an oracle. Look what came up. Libra. The justice, the balance. And for you, it's going to be about balance. It's going to be about trying to see where there is certain places where you give too much, where you're not taking enough. And also has to do maybe with some paperwork too that you might have to address. Some paperwork that's finally being finalized. Maybe you're closing on a home, maybe you're buying a home, maybe you're having a baby, maybe you finally got accepted into a program you really wanted, maybe you got the job that you really wanted, or the promotion that you wanted, and it's a long time coming. So let's open these up. So it said Leo. Let's do Leo first. So Leo, you got Judgment reversed and then the Star. And let's see, you have two major arcana cards, and you have Bold and Courageous. So Leo, I think for you, it's funny because like the card is chicken, and I automatically thought of chickens come home to roost. So I feel, and it's with the Judgment in reversed, I feel like it's a lot for a lot of you, Leo. It's going to be about where are you holding yourself back. With the Star specifically here, it's like you have so many dreams and you have so many wishes, you have so much desire to accomplish something, but I think you've been holding yourself back. I think you've been holding your mouth, your tongue, and not speaking up and not speaking your truth, not really acknowledging where you really want to go, what you really want, holding yourself back and being small. I think those are the areas that are really going to be highlighted for you during this full moon. And really watch for your dreams for the next couple of days and see what messages might come through. You might have a revelation. You might have some sort of a aha moment during those dreams. Or maybe if you want to meditate, meditation is going to be a really good thing for you to do. And it's focus, it's really stepping into your power, really going for what you want. Is it something that has to do with maybe changing jobs, maybe going to legal school, maybe filing for I don't know, or asking for a promotion, whatever the case might be. Be bold, be courageous, especially we have Mars entering, I believe it's in Gemini or I think either in Gemini or in Aries. In any case, there's a lot of energy that's being really, really action oriented right now. So I think during like the rest of April, really think about where you're holding yourself back, where you have not been vocal enough, and really ask for what you deserve, because this is all about asking for what you deserve and really getting it. I think around this time is going to be really important to speak up and really be truthful with what you really want. And I think if it's relationship wise, it's really stand your ground, say your boundaries, really acknowledge and respect your boundaries. I think that's going to be really important as well, because with the star, it's if you look at the picture, she's with one hand she's pouring and nourishing the ground, but then with the other one she's nurturing herself as well. So it's like kind of going back to the gist, it's nourishing yourself, but it's also like being, bold enough to ask for what you want, because you deserve this. So that's where you're gonna have to be really believe and trust in yourself, that what you want is possible. Do not hold yourself back, and then just be bold and just go for it, Leo. And you're really not assigned to hold anything back. And especially during this time, do not hold yourself back. Do not hold yourself small, because it's only going to be net detriment. The more you hold yourself back, the more you're not going for what you want, for your dreams, for your desires, and respecting your needs and respecting your space as well. The more you're going to be in that space of being small and not accomplishing the things that you really want, and not being in that mindset of like, well, this is happening to everybody else but not me. But it's because you're holding yourself back. So don't do that. Go be bold during this month. And then the parts that will really, like I said, will be highlighted for you, Leos, they're gonna be coming through you either in your dreams, during meditation, or even journaling. So just really go for it. I think for you, the mantra for this full moon is just go for it. You're going to discover, if you really allow yourself to go deep and really allow yourself to just kind of play with what you want and really be open and honest with what you want, you're going to be surprised. You're going to be surprised, and also how much support you can get from it. Okay, well, I'll leave you with this, Leo. And I wish you a great full moon. I'm really excited. What is that you're going to wish for? Okay. That's it for you guys. Now we're moving into Aries. Aries, what do you got? So Aries, you have Seven of Swords and the King of Cups. Well, let me see what oracle card you got. Whoop. Oh, Aries. For you, a lot of the stuff is going to come up with any sneaky behavior, anybody that mistreated you, anybody that's been holding back, anybody that has been a selfish ass, somebody that's been really immature. All of that is really going to be highlighted right now. So watch in the next couple of days for that behavior, and it's going to be like really, really intense. But I think you're going to be able to see through it, and that's the beauty of the full moon in Libra. It highlights those areas where we need the most attention, the areas that we either been postponing for a long time, or we've been like, oh, I'll get to it later. So now it's going to be really for you to pay attention to where you have let yourself see solitude and anxiety. Where have you let others take your power? Where have you let others really mistreat you and not give you enough of emotional support? Because with the King of Cups, he only takes. He's emotionally unstable. He's almost like a child that constantly needs attention, constantly needs somebody to like reinforce his ego and reinforce his feelings. And then with the Seven of Swords looking at the King of Cups in reverse, it's almost like somebody is trying to play nice. Somebody's trying to play like the good guy and trying to play, oh, but I'm sick. Oh, but I feel so bad and I'm so lonely. Can you please come? It's kind of that type of behavior when all they just want for you to just be there and then do things for them, when they're totally capable of doing that on their own. So I think for you, it's really relationships and communication that really is going to be highlighted during this full moon. Watch where either you've been neglecting somebody, or being sneaky or not fully truthful with somebody, or if somebody has been doing that to you. And really, you know, kind of, in a way, I won't say put them on the spot and then, you know, because I think with the shark here, I feel like there is this feeling of maybe like, oh, if I speak up, then, you know, maybe I'll just be alone and they'll leave me. But do you really want to be with somebody that is really mistreating you? Do you really want to be with somebody that's just being a child, and really all they want to do is just kind of take that energy from you without giving any support back? I don't think you do. But know that it's like that's where this balance is going to come from for you. You know, I think this is where it's going to be really important for you to really, with these cards, right? It's going to be really important to like really find that balance, that right, you know, where you give enough, where you don't give enough, like with Leos as well, you know. But for you specifically, this is going to come up in communication regarding relationships. So really, I think I won't be surprised if some of you will be either maybe breaking up with somebody, or maybe finding out that you've been cheated on, or you are the one doing the cheating and your partner will find out. Another thing that might be here too, it's that maybe there's going to be a situation where something comes up, and it could be like with friendships as well, that somebody is just, you know, it's been for the last couple of, I want to say a few months even, they kind of they've been very needy, you know, and that left you really to the point where it's like you almost want to hide from them and like making yourself busy because you don't want to deal with their neediness anymore. But it doesn't make sense for you to hide, even though the shark, it's the solitude and the anxiety. But I think it's in a way, it's like you're running away from that. You're running away from that conversation and telling the person, it's like, look, hey, back off. Like, I know you need support, but like it's time for you to get it, like maybe from somewhere else, or maybe respect my space as well, because right now I need space, or right now I need to take care of my business. So yeah, watch out for those things. And really, I think with Libra too, a full moon now, it's really important to set the tone for how this is the next couple of months it's going to go, you know, because we have Jupiter going retrograde, and it's going to happen till it already went in retrograde, and it's going to be until August 11th. And depends on what house that falls in. It's really, you know, it's asking you to reassess those things. And then with the Libra, the full moon in Libra, at the 29th degree, it's the culmination of something. So I think for you, this behavior is going to be escalated around this for the next couple of days, and maybe even a week. You're going to see a lot more of this behavior. You're going to see people need you a lot more, like being that really needy and like really whiny behavior. And you might want to like escape from that. You might want to just detach yourself from it by maybe like lying that you're busy, or maybe you have something to do when in fact you don't. All you want is just kind of not give them the time and the space. So I think maybe it's just good for you to have the conversation, because with the Justice here is the main theme. You know, everything has a place and a time, but I think with the full moon in Libra, I think for you, Aries, it's going to be it's going to be an opportune time for you to have that conversation, you know. But something to watch for is not to be accusatory. Just really be coming from a place of I feel this way, and not you did this to me, but whatever you did made me feel like this. Okay, Aries, that's it for you guys. Moving on to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, you got Wands. It's a lot of emotions and feelings. It's a lot of passion. It's a lot of drive that's maybe it's being stumped a bit. With the Four of Wands in reversed, and then the Nine of Wands. I don't know if you can see. But with these two cards, it's about like the thing that's going to come up for you. It's something to do with family, something to do with maybe your siblings, maybe your partners and relatives. Especially now, for you who are Catholic, we have Easter coming up, and you know, it's a time for a lot of people to get together, especially family. So I think for a lot of you, Sag, you're going to be dealing with a lot of family issues right now that might make you feel really, really defensive. A lot of things either might be said or might be done, or maybe things from the past that might come up for you, where you know, you're going to feel like, do they have my back? Do they support me? Are they on the same page with me? Are we moving forward on the same, you know, towards the same goals? The other thing too, just like it is for some of you, especially the ones that don't have children, and you're around the age that, you know, you can't have children, or, you know, it's like a lot of people in your circle are having kids. I think for some of you, your relatives will be like, well, when are you having a baby? I bet you some of that you will have some of those discussions, or somebody's going to be telling you that. So if you don't want to go there, be prepared, have an answer for that, but just make it polite and make it, you know, respectful, because you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, because they don't mean bad. They just, you know, kind of, they have their own vision of what family is. Let me pull an oracle card for you. Awakeness and transcendence. Yeah, I think for some of you, this is going to be a time where you're going to be realizing who's on your side, who's your home, who can you call home, who can you call, like, oh, it's my team, it's my they're my homies, they're my everything, they're your back, they're your support, they're really like your everything. Somebody that you can really call home. It can be an actual physical home. You know, you might have some disputes, and like if you have roommates, you might be really like, they might be escalating right now around this time, during this, like the end of the week till probably the end of the month. But I think really for some of you, the message that really comes the strongest here is that you're going to be questioning, who has my back? You're going to be like, who are the people from my circle, from my community, that have my back, that are on the same page, that are willing to bat for me, that are willing to go the distance for me, that are willing to do anything that I would ask them to do, because it's not because they're loyal, but because they believe and trust in me. You know, and then trust is a big thing, especially with the Four of Wands in reverse. It's going to be like, you know, your foundation is going to be shaking. You might find out that some people that you trusted are no longer there for you, or they might have gone behind your back or did something. And on the other hand too, you might be in the total opposite can happen, where it's like people that you least expect to be on your side and least expect to have your back, they will have your back, and they will support you through the thick and thin, and they will help you rebuild that foundation that you so strongly want and need. But it really is going to come around family. It's family issues, relatives, mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, and also friends. Like that, really the close-knit circle that you call family. You know, be it your biological family or be it your friends, the chosen family. You know, it doesn't have to be one or the other. It can be both. It can be one or the other. It's going to depend, for each of you is going to be different. So, yeah, I think it's going to be really an eye-opener for you around this time. Who really has your back? Who is there for you? And then who's going to be there for you for the long run? I think that's it, Sag, for you. Beautiful messages. I really love the messages for you. So far, I really, really liked it. Now let's move on to the air signs. Aquarius, Geminis, and Libras. Let's see what they got. Let's see what their message is. Let me show. By the way, I'm using the After Tarot deck, which I kind of really love. I was really debating whether to use the regular Rider-Waite or the After Tarot, and I just went with the After Tarot. I kind of like it. Okie dokie. So, air signs, air signs. What's going on for you? Let's see. Okay. Aquarius. And then we have Gemini. And then we have Libra. Okay. And we have the, hold on, I'm trying to get used to this camera. And then the Seven of Pentacles as the main theme. And then let's pull oracle cards for you guys. Wow, very slippery for some these cards are. Well, Aquarius, I really love your cards, I have to say. Even though it's kind of like a little bit of a mixed message for you, but I feel like for you specific, it's going to be, you know, so with Libra, we culminating something and then being ready to start something new, and this is exactly what's happening. You're ending a cycle where you didn't feel abundant. You're ending a cycle where you felt alone, even though you loved your independence, even though you loved being, or maybe you're striving to be this like independent person that has it all, that knows it all, that is super stable, that is like a rock. But there are certain things in your life that were not really helping you to get there. But now with the Fool, with this new moon in Libra, I think you might find the solutions that would propel you to be there. And for some of you, I think might be coming from maybe single to being married, to start, you're really starting something new. And then you're taking the leap of faith. You're no longer thinking, look at with the curiosity and then exploration. I think you're no longer thinking about, and I love this aspect of your Aquarius where it's like you don't really care about norms and rules and regulations. You're the breaker of the rules, and you set your own standards. You really go for what you believe to be true, what you believe to be your own standards. And I think this is what's going to happen now. I think for most of you, it's going to be really an ending of some sort of an idea of what you had about yourself, or maybe an idea of a certain situation that has to do with money, finances. It could be your own work. Maybe you realize that like the place you're working right now, it's not really giving you anything in return. It's really not bringing you the joy, the monetary rewards that you want. And then you're really going to take that leap of faith and maybe become your own boss and maybe start your own business. And you might have these revelations around this full moon, and you're like finally like, oh, I'm done with this, and I'm ready. I'm going to take the leap of faith and I'm going to go for it. But with here, like in the After Tarot, see like he's like losing his sack with all the belongings, but he really doesn't care because he's smelling the rose and that's what he cares about. When he's still holding strong with one hand. So a suggestion here would be that yes, you're curious and you want to explore and you want to go for like that new thing and you want to go for that shiny thing too, but kind of have a little bit of a plan. Don't just like rush into it like the Fool does, because you know there is only so long that you can hold on till you fall, because you don't, you know, like you're just like being distracted by the newness of something. So here I would really suggest, like, as much as you're gonna realize that you really want to maybe even travel. I think maybe for some of you might be like you're gonna discover or you're gonna realize during this full moon that you really want to travel and you want to like set aside money to travel, and right now you don't, but you might have impulse purchases right now. I would advise against it. You really think about it. Don't push that buy button just now. Think about it for a day or two and then come back the next day. And if you still want it and if you know you can make it work, do it. Go for it. Because with curiosity, exploration, and then with the Fool, I think it's going to be really good for you. But really have a backup plan. Really think about it before you take the leap. Yeah, I think really the message here is for you. It's like purchases, finances. You're like looking to to buy something new. It could be a home even. But you know, sometimes like things that look really good might not be that great after a while. So really explore more options, really see what your options are before you really commit to anything right now, because you might have this impulse impulse to like buy something or acquire something, or maybe like even quit your job, but kind of like really think about the pros and the cons a little bit, but stay open-minded at the same time. You know, like money's not always everything. So I think it's like a couple of messages that come through. For some of you, it's about travel and really being careful with the impulse purchases. With others of you, it's going to be like about a new job, and you want to quit your job and start something new. But that's where you really have to have a backup plan. Do you really have enough money for the next 6 months if you do quit your job until you get something going? You know, and then for others of you, it's more about if it's relationships, and it's for some of you might be relationships, it's about, you know, kind of seeing what your options are, but at the same time, don't commit to anything just yet, and don't like, you know, like really rush into anything new. Just kind of feel it out first. Okay, so that's it for you, Aquarius. Let's see. And then we have Gemini. Gemini, you have the Queen of Cups and the Hermit. A very interesting pairing, I have to say. So the Queen of Cups, it's like, I really love, because in some cards we have the Queen kind of having the cup like really, it's closed. But with this one, she's taking fish. Fishes are sometimes a symbol of abundance. And I don't know, I just love this card. She looks so happy and she looks so playful and joyous. So she's ready. So for you, Geminis, I think it's going to be like, I think for some of you, I think you're going to be like kind of, it's almost two groups. For some of you, this is going to be a time to kind of like go within and really like look deep into yourself. I think like during this full moon, a lot of stuff that's going to come out about your own self, about your own personality, certain traits about yourself that you're like, oh my god, this is so cool, I'm actually really cool, I'm actually really awesome, you know. And then for some of you, it's going to be like by having that introspection moment, you know, you're going to be able to open up, and then by opening up, you're going to be able to give like really freely without expecting anything, without judging anything, you know. And then with the Seven of Pentacles here, it's like this has been a work in progress. This has been something that's been going on for a while, maybe since September. Like for somebody, that's a very intense work that you've been doing, you know, like maybe you've been seeing a therapist, and then you've really been working on a lot of confidence issues and a lot of trauma issues. And then I think during this full moon, that is going to culminate to the point where it's like, I get it now. I get it. I deserve love. I am love. I don't need anybody else. I already have it. It's already in there. See, because like the fish is already in the cup. So your abundance is within yourself. And then the work that you put in to get there, it's finally getting here. And then you're going to feel so much lighter and so much easier. You're going to be like taking like a deep breath and like, do you know what I mean, Geminis? It's going to be like a relief for you, where you're like, I'm actually pretty cool. That's what I'm hearing. I'm actually really cool, you know. I'm going to leave you with that, Geminis, because I really love this. And I think that's, you know, it's a lot of introspection, a lot of inner work that you guys been doing. And I feel like it's finally, you know, this full moon, you're going to be like, yes, I did it. All that was worth it. All that work was worth it. You know, okay, I'll leave you with that. I know it's short, but I feel like that's what you needed to hear. And then Libras. You got the Star in reverse, and you got the 10 of Wands with the the 8 of Pentacles. Well, I think some of you are really ready to drop a burden. I think for some of you, you're really going to finally realize that maybe something you really wanted, it's too much work, and it's not worth the hassle. It's not worth your time. It's not worth the money that you invested in. And you might decide to kind of either take a step back from it around this time, or just maybe give it up altogether. And then when I say give up, it doesn't mean negative. It means that you're freeing yourself up for something better, for something that's more fitting for you, for something that is in alignment with what you want and what the universe wants for you. So sometimes it's no shame, and it's never shame to drop something that is not working. You know, like, why fight for something that you know deep down is no longer serving its purpose, no longer nourishing you, no longer really giving you that sense of support, that sense of accomplishment, that sense of drive, you know? So I think for a lot of you, this could be, I mean, we have the Pentacles, we have the Wands, and I think it could be in all areas for you, Libras, you know? And especially that we have the full moon in your sign for the second time this year, and one after the other. I think you guys been under a lot of pressure to really make something happen, and you know, like, you wanted so much, you wanted so many things, and you were like, I think you're like overextended yourself to a certain degree, you know, and now you finally realize that, oh, maybe I should not have extended myself. Maybe I should just focus on just one thing at a time versus giving like myself. Even though Libras, you're pretty good about balancing yourself, but see, power struggle. It's like what I was saying, like overextending yourself, you know. Something might have wanted your attention too much, and then you kind of let something else go in the meantime, just because to, you know, trying to please everybody. But you can't always please everybody, you know, and then that's obvious here. So I think you're going to come to realize that, you know, the time of like pleasing everybody is over, and the only person you really have to please is yourself. And by doing that, you're gonna like drop that burden. You're gonna drop that stuff that's no longer working for you. And it could be, like I said, it could be work, it could be finances, it could be like friendships and relationships. But I feel like I really get there's a really heavy feeling about this, that that's why it's been so hard to let it go and drop it, because it really meant a lot to you, Libras. And you know, and I think a lot for some of you, this thing was about egos, you know, like, it could be even your own ego, like proving that you can do it, prove that you can be in all these places all at the same time, proving that you can be this person for, you know, like all of this in one, you know, bundle, in one human for somebody else, you know. But you realize that it's just too much. It's too much, and something has to give. And you're going to realize during this full moon, what is that something that has to give, and where that, you know, a little bit of a leeway where you can like, you know, change certain things in order to adjust, in order to find the balance in your life, and then get that balance back. Well, I think that's it, Libras, for you. It was pretty heavy. For some reason, I really felt like really sad during your reading, Libras, but I hope it's not going to be, I hope it's going to be a good one. I hope that's going to be, and I always believe that those things are always for the better. So I think for you, Libras, really, it's going to be, the sooner you drop something that's not working, the sooner you allow something that is going to work in your life, and you're going to be so much more happier about it, you know. Okay, so moving on to earth signs, we got Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Let's see what's going on with you, earth signs. We're really close to getting to Taurus season. I kind of like Taurus season, even though Taurus can be very stubborn and very like headstrong, but you know, it's a lot of like ego battles with Taurus, but it's also like it's a homey environment. It's a homey energy that I get from them. So like, I'm really excited to get into that space come May. Okay, so Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And you see what we have at the bottom, the world. So I think cycles, you know, like we said, the full moon in Libra, closing one cycle and starting a new one. It's time to do it, you know, now more than ever. And then let's see what the oracle messages for you are. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. It's funny because like when I looked at the world card, I also thought for some of you travel. It's something to do with travel plans that you've been making and maybe finally coming through, or maybe they're not, or they're being stalled. So Taurus, let's start with you. It's very interesting. So we have the Four of Swords in reversed, and then we have the Knight of Swords in reversed. They're both like very opposite energies, because one is coming out of a kind of calm and like collected. It's almost like that when you go to a retreat to get yourself together, get your mental like, you know, like really refresh yourself. And with the Knight of Swords, it's kind of like the opposite, where you're like, oh, slow down, not so fast. So I think with this, it's more like that transition. I think it's going to be that transition period. And with the travel and stamina, I think for some of you, it's like, I think you're going to head in Taurus. We're getting into your season pretty soon. I think for you, it's like this time from now until the end of April. I think this is going to be a not challenging, but a testing time for you to really see, you know, the preparation that you have done, right? The preparation, like, have you got everything in place? Because once your season starts, you know, this is going to be all reversed. It's going to go. So it's like really easing you into that energy of like, you know, like we're not going to start you really fast right away, but we're going to start you little by little, so you kind of get a taste of what's to come. So I think for some of you, you're really going to realize that it's like, hey, there's so many things I want to accomplish. And then with the things that you want to accomplish, there's going to be a lot of communication involved. A lot of communication, a lot of back and forth, and I think that's what this, with these two like opposites of each other coming, I think it's going to be a lot of back and forth between two people, you know, a lot of communications of back and forth of like misunderstandings that might happen. So sorry, I have to drink something. I think really for you guys, it's kind of like, you know, wait, take it slow, don't be too aggressive, don't push people, don't push their buttons, you know, because like people have their own stuff to get through, you know, so it's like pushing them, it's not going to make it go quicker, even though you want to, you know, travel, it's like, you know, you're curious, you want to get going, but at the same time, you know, give people the space that they need. Like you're ready to go, but other people are not. So I think this is also going to test your patience. I think full moon, it's going to highlight the areas where you haven't been patient. And then you're going to see that through the emails that are going to come through. So some of the text messages that are going to come through, some plans that are going to fall through. That really, it's like by pushing people's buttons and by pushing people to get what you want, you might not get what you want. You know, so I think those areas are really going to be highlighted for you, Taurus. You might not like it, you know, but that's what you're advised in order, because once your season comes, things are going to rev up, you know, for you, and it's going to go. So right now, be patient. Right now, really be smart with your communication. Really be smart with your communication. Really be smart where you push and where you hold back. Where you go, like, just go for it. And then, you know, be like the motivator that people need and to get them going. And where you kind of take a step back and like let other people lead and let other people take the reins and let other people, you know, communicate, be the leader in a project. You know, be the leader in taking charge of initiating certain things, you know. And for some of you too, I think this is going to come up around travel as well. if you're traveling for business, you might just have like a little issues with the internet, you know. I mean, like you might be like in the middle of doing a big project or sending a very important email, and then some sort of like connection issue that might happen. So be patient. You really be patient and kind of like prep yourself for it, you know. Okay, I think that's it for you guys. Virgo, what do we got? The dragonfly. I already love this with the world. I mean, I think something new is ending and something new is hopefully starting. Well, so Virgos, we have the 5 of Swords, we have the 8 of Pentacles, and we have the dragonfly, which is joy and love, with the World card in reversed. You know, I think for some of you, I think it's going to be a couple of people, a couple of different situations. You know, I think for some of you, I think it's going to be a lot of things that will come to light during this full moon. It's areas where people have been taking advantage of you, or you've been taking advantage of them and kind of being an asshole about it, you know, like kind of rubbing in their face, or people have done that to you. Most likely that's where people have done that to you, and you'll notice that people might, like this weekend specifically, I think it's going to be like people kind of rubbing it in your face, like, oh, do you remember that time when I won? Do you remember that time when you lost, or something like that, you know? But don't let them take away from how you feel right now. Don't take them, because you're working towards something. You're really working to build something right now, Virgos. And I think it has to do with like a project specifically. You're really working onto building your business. And I think this is what's going to come up for you, like people that own businesses and we're trying to get something further, like maybe introduce a new project, or maybe kind of get the word out. You know, you might have some people that kind of would try to like take you down, or say negative things about you, you know, like kind of like word bad, like giving you bad reviews. But keep your head down and keep working, because it's going to be worth it. You know, there's something that you haven't finished, like looking with the Tower in reversed. I think somebody is really reluctant to change here, you know, Virgos. There's something that, a change that needs to be made that you're very reluctant to do. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what it is. I think for all of you, it's going to be something very different, but most likely it has to do with something that you've been, I think it's almost kind of the same as Taurus, where it's like you put the work in and you've been working so hard at it, or maybe not, I think it might have been Libra actually, where you've been working so hard at it and you don't want to let it go, you know, like you don't want to let it go, or you think like it's I don't know, something to do with like you being stubborn about something that you think that you want and that you think would be good for you, but really it's not. And it's really, in Dragonfly too, it's it also transforms, right? So it's like that change. It really, it's like for you, it's about really looking at, I think, areas that you've been putting a lot of work in, and then it's either the people who are taking advantage of you in those areas that will be highlighted. It's like you work, and either you don't see the money coming in, or you do see the money coming in and somebody else is wasting the money. And for others of you, it could be something to do, like maybe you're not gaining the recognition that you want for the work that you're putting in. I think that's what it is. I think for some of you, really, like you've been working so hard at something, and you've been like, really like, come on, when is this going to happen? When I'm going to get the raise? When I'm going to get the appraisal? When I'm going to get the recognition that I deserve? You know, when everybody else is already getting theirs, but like, look at me, like I've been doing so much work since August, probably. You know, and then when is that coming? So I think it's going to be, for you Virgos, it's going to be a lot of those emotions that are going to be brought up to the surface. But know that, you know, it's gonna be worth it, you know, because you are the one winning in this situation, because you are the one putting in the effort, and you are working on your own skills, on your own development, that other people are not. Other people are maybe just like, you know, by being a good smooth talker, they can get themselves out of something, or, you know, show that they can do it, but when it comes down to actually doing the work, they can't. And this is where you're gonna strive. So keep going, trust and believe that it's going to work out, but certain changes need to be made. Certain changes in either in your behavior or how you do things, and how you I think it's most likely changes in how you communicate with others that need to be made. And I think for you, I think it's work related. I really get the sense that it might be just one of you that's going to watch this and it's going to be like, oh yeah, it resonates, and for everybody it's not. But for some of you, I think it has to do with work that it's been, oh, when they see my efforts, you know? But I think maybe this is where the change needs to happen, where it's like, it's like, yes, you talk, it has time for you to really speak up, but without throwing anybody else under the bus. Do you know what I mean? It's like, talk about what you've done and not put anybody else down, because that's the fair way of doing it. And that's what Libra is all about, being fair and equal and even. What's yours, it's coming. It's just a matter of like, there's certain changes that need to be made for you right now, Virgos, that in order for you to get what you want. Okay? So I hope that's going to work out for you guys. Capricorn. Well, Capricorn, we got Ace of Cups in reverse, the Queen of Wands, and the Snake, which is transformation and change. With the Town in reverse and the World in reverse, change. Somebody's really, really, being stubborn about change. Queen of Wands, she's very confident, she's very protective, she's very, very quick at judging and really quick at saying something. And sometimes it might hurt what she's saying. She's also a really bubbly personality. But at the same time, when we have the Ace of Cups here, and with the Tower and then the World, I think it's something that I think you finally will realize that maybe something is not in the love department. And I think for you, definitely it's going to be like relationship-wise, Capricorns. It's time to let go. It's time to maybe be independent. It's time for that change coming from like waiting for somebody to offer love, for you to either give love to yourself or going out there and then, putting yourself out there and starting to date or starting to open up. I think it's for you, it's about opening up and then really not being so guarded. Because see, like, how she is, like, being on the throne and, like, with the flower and the staff here, it's like she's all covered. Like, there's no way to get to her, Like, she's almost like that, like, protection. Like, it's almost like that shield. The flower's on, like, shielding her heart, It's like, I think it's time for you to really let go, like, you be vulnerable, because, like, with the Queen of Wands, she's so strong. She has that really strong, confident demeanor, and I feel like in order to attain love, in order to have that new start, have that fresh start, there has to be a give, there has to be a change, and it's a big change that has to happen. A transformation that it's all within you. And I think it's all about being vulnerable. It's all about, for some of you, it's either being vulnerable, and for some of you, it's standing your ground and not letting other people take advantage of you. Because with the Queen of Wands, she can go both ways, right? Like with the staff, she's like so strong and determined in getting what she wants that she's not gonna go for anything less. But she's also very passionate, very, very like, she has so much desire and like so much drive. And with the Ace of Cups in reverse, yeah, for some of you, it's like she wants this. Or maybe she's just looking like, you know what, I'm done with all of this. Like, I'm done with all of these relationships. I'm gonna be single for a while. I'm just gonna do me for a while. And that's why she's so guarded. So for you Capricorns, I think it's gonna be a decision of where you want to go, like which side you want to take. Do you want to be let your guard down and be vulnerable and maybe open up to love. Because change, you have to have a change in order to attain the relationships that you want. Or do you want to stand your ground, and do you want to be single for a while and you just want to be independent and like then, you know, like kind of like, I don't care about love, you know, I'm just gonna do me, I'm gonna do what I want. But no, the change is not gonna happen, you know, Capricorns. So it's a matter of like you deciding what direction you want to go in, you know, how you want to proceed, how you want this change to happen. Because ultimately it will happen. It might not be right away, it might be dragged down a little bit, but you know, it will happen. It will happen. So decide as like what side do you want to be on. Do you want to be vulnerable and open up? I mean, but it's also like what works for you. Like, don't get me wrong, this is, you know, this is a general reading, so things might apply to certain people and not others. So for some of you, you know, being vulnerable actually is the way to go, and for others it's more like standing your ground, being confident in who you are, and then not accepting anything less than you deserve, right? So it's just a matter of the circumstance here, and then what resonates with you. But in any case, I think there's some adjustments that need to happen, and I think during this full moon, you will know what area you need to have that change happen, you know, because you'll definitely have an encounter that will make you see that. Okay, Capricorns? That's it for you guys. And we have water. Water, water, water. You know, I don't have that much water in my chart, which is kind of interesting. And it kind of sometimes makes me think of like, well, I'm not very, you know, like, well, you guys don't want to know about my personal life, so I'm not going to tell you. But yeah, water signs are so nice. They're like so welcoming, and so they always have like open arms when they greet you. I really love that about them. But sometimes when you cross them, oof, spikes come out. Okay, Pisces, what do we got for you? Cancer. And then we have Scorpios. Okay. Bottom of the deck, Emperor in reversed. And let me see for the oracles. See what you got. Let's see what you got. Okay. Pisces. Cancer. And Scorpios. The bear. Oh, I love the bear. Okay, Pisces. Let's start with you guys. So we got the moon, beautiful, which is going to happen. And then we got the 10 of Swords in reversed with lighthearted and laughter. I think the main point of this is whatever you discover, whatever truths are going to be revealed for you, take them with a grain of salt. And try not to take them personally, you know, Pisces, because I think it's going to be really easy for you to go, you know, deep and go in your head and go into your feelings about it, about something that's been said, about something that's been done to you. But I think it's something that's been said specifically, and specifically maybe from an Aries or somebody from like a fire sign, maybe even a Capricorn. But in any case, really take things lightly, like try to joke it off if possible, you know. I think during this full moon, there will be certain things that will come to light, maybe certain things that you don't want to know and don't want to hear, but ultimately it's something that maybe will help you move past a certain disappointment in your life. But really take it with like a grain of salt and like laugh it off. Really laugh it off. Like, you know, if somebody's trying to get to you, it's like, you know what? Just kind of make a joke out of it. Or like maybe even if they try to make a joke of you, You know, like go with it, you know, like go with it. Be silly. Be silly about it. You know, that's kind of like the message that I'm getting, and it's going to come out in the next 2 days. You know, whatever the situation is going to be. And then I think, I don't know, this is the strongest message that I'm getting for you. It might be some others, but I think whoever's watching, I think that's what they need to hear. So I'm going to leave it at this, Pisces. Let's see, then we have Cancer. 5 of Cups and the Knight of Cups in reverse with caution and wisdom. Cancer. What I'm going to advise you here, or like what I'm seeing here, it's definitely a relationship. And it's definitely, I think, for some of you that if you are dating right now, really be careful who you're dating. Looking with the Lovers in reversed. What they're promising to be, they're not. You know, be the owl. Like, you know how the owls, they wait and they look and they observe. Let the actions speak for themselves. Let the actions speak louder than the words they're having. Because you might end up regretting being with this person. You might end up regretting opening up to this person. So I really, really, really highly would recommend you pay attention to people around you. And I think it's love relationships right here. I don't think it's anything else. I think it's love connected. It's really be careful with people that are promising to be something they're not. If they're like that shiny, they have that shiny gold surface, you know, and you're like so attracted to it. But at the same time, they like really, when you're with them, all they do is just being nasty and being needy and, you know, jealous and petty and, you know, kind of being like a child. You know, I think same thing with Leos. I think they might have gotten the same thing. The only thing they didn't get the regret. So I think with you, there's like a real challenge here where it's, you know, you might regret something. And the other message that comes through here, it's like, be careful of not being too stuck in your own feelings too, because like, see how this guy is drowning over here, because the person is just so into just kind of playing the victim mentality here, you know. And I think this is with these two, it's playing the victim mentality. It's like, well, I'm not getting the relationship that I want, nobody really likes me, or like, you know, people are just like being assholes or being like immature, or whatever the case might be. Nobody can like commit. Nobody can promise anything stable and really concrete and like long term. So why is this happening to me? You know, so it's like really be careful about that victim mentality right now, because it's the more you in it, the more it's going to affect you going forward and the energy that you're going to bring towards others. So if you're dating right now, you know, like the lower your vibration, the lower vibration people you're going to attract. And also like people, you're going to be attracting people that would actually just want to take, like, you know, energy suckers versus somebody that really wants to support you to get you out of that mentality. So I think for you, during this full moon, you're going to see, you know, you're going to have those moments where you're really going to feel like a victim. But please don't allow yourself to go there. You know, sometimes it's okay to feel sad about yourself, but, you know, for a moment. Don't let that affect how your actions going forward. Go with confidence. Go with like your cup full, because you have 2 cups here, and they're fully, like they're filled to the brim, but you just don't see it, you know, because you're so caught up in that whatever happened, you know, that you're not willing to see what's ahead or behind, you know what I mean? So, really, like, watch out for that victim mentality right now. And for others of you that are coupled, really watch out for, you know, kind of just being snappy at your partner, because it's going to be really easy to do so, and you might hurt their feelings, and you might not be exactly when it might spawn into something really, really big, and something bigger than you really thought it would be, you know. And so if you're not ready to have like the big conversations, you know, like, so for example, when somebody's like, well, why'd you put the dish there, right? But everybody knows that is, and that starts a fight. But like that deep down, that dish, it's not about the dish. It's about something else that they've done that you've been holding back. So if you're not ready to have that conversation now, but I think for some of you, you might be pushed to have that conversation, but you're not going to be able to because you're not going to be in the right headspace to have that conversation. So I would say postpone that, but don't be snappy at the same time. So watch your attitude, Well, I'll leave you with that, Cancer, and let's see what the last one, Scorpio. What do you got? I love the bear. That's really promising. And we have 5 of Swords and the Strength. Well, how beautiful. We got Strength and then the bear and the Strength and confidence. Well, Scorpio, I think you got a really, really good one this time with the Emperor and Reverse and Lovers. I think for you, it's seeing through the bullshit, seeing through the bullshit, seeing through the people that really, and you're gonna pass with flying colors. You're gonna be able to put, put people on the spot. If they're mistreating you, be like, hey, you know what? You've been a jerk. You've been an asshole about this. And you're going to have the strength and you're going to have the confidence to do so. And you're not going to be afraid. You're not going to be afraid to speak up your mind. You're not going to be afraid to go for it. You're not going to be afraid to really go for what you really want. Even though in the moment you might not have the support. You might not have, people might seem that they're a little bit against you. And they might feel like there might be some envy too. Right now, because you're displaying so much confidence, Scorpio, there's going to be so much jealousy and envy around you. So really be careful. I think you're going to shine. I think the next couple of weeks, you're going to shine. You're going to be like, I'm badass, I love it. You're going to embrace that so much. And then that's going to bring a lot of people like, well, who does he or she think he is or she thinks she is? You know what I mean? And people might try to undermine you here. But you know what? You know your power. You know your strength. And go for it. Believe it. Believe it and it's true. You found it. And it's a long time coming. You've been working on it. And you finally yeah, I'm a total badass. And then whoever tries to stand in my way, they don't have a chance. And let them talk. Let them talk, but don't engage. Don't engage in that communication. Don't engage in that pettiness, because all you're going to get back is pettiness, and you don't want to stoop to that level, do you, Scorpio? It's not worth it. It's not going to benefit you, Stay in your power. Shine. Be in the spotlight. You deserve it. So I'm going to leave you guys with this. Oh, and then the other thing that just came, karaoke. I think for some of you are going to be doing a lot of karaoke in the next couple. Be invited to do karaoke, and you're going to be really liking it. And not only that, but I see a lot of you being in a place that you're actually going to have lights right on you. You're going to be right on the spotlight, on a real stage and everything. So Scorpios, have fun. I'm curious to see what songs you're going to sing. Well, I think that's it for now, my lovelies, and I wish you, a really important full moon. I really think it's going to be, no matter what the reading was, but I think it's going to be really beneficial for everybody to really look deep down and on the Aries and really meditate on change, meditate on new beginnings, and meditate, on what have you accomplished so far and where you want to go. Because now it's time to set the tone, set the tone, be strong, be brave, be courageous, take no bullshit, take no prisoners, and stand in your power, Okay, that's it for now. I will see you for the May readings very soon. Okay, bye.